One of the biggest differences I notice between someone who's managing a business and someone who's truly leading one has very little to do with experience. It has a lot to do with the quality of questions they're asking themselves. When most people think about becoming more successful, they imagine some reality where all of a sudden they finally have all the answers. Ironically, the opposite is true. The higher you climb, the less you're looking for answers and the more you're looking for better thinking. Because eventually you realize there isn't a book or a podcast or even a mentor that's going to tell you exactly what to do. And they shouldn't. Because what you need to do is you need to develop better ways to think through incredibly difficult situations and decisions. That's the first shift. The second one is people assume that as you become more successful, decisions become easier. And I can tell you from experience, they don't. In fact, they become much harder. You're no longer making a decision between just a good decision and a bad decision. Most of the time now what's happening is you're making decisions between two really good options or a multitude of options or a bunch of really difficult options where every choice affects the employees, the families, the customers, the investors, reputation, and sometimes entire communities. So your greatest asset shifts, and it's no longer your work ethic. It's now your judgment. Can you slow down enough to see what other people don't see? Can you think beyond the immediate outcome? Can you make the right decision, not just the popular one? Then there's one more shift. This is the one that usually sneaks up and catches leaders by surprise. Somewhere along the way, your business quietly becomes your identity. When the business is thriving, oh man, life is great. I love myself. I'm so good at what I do. When it struggles, bang, you're the first one to doubt yourself. Every setback feels personal. Every criticism feels personal. Every missed goal feels like it's your fault. And that's dangerous because you are not the business. You're the person leading it. The moment your identity becomes tied to your company, your decision-making becomes emotional instead of objective and intentional. Okay? If you find yourself facing the same challenges again and again and again, if you're feeling mentally tapped or frustrated because there's no time for you, I want you to know something. You're closer than you think. You have all the resources, all the tools, all the time you need right now to reach that next level. And you're not failing, you're not broken. You're simply carrying a level of responsibility that most people never experience. And we're not designed for it. You have to understand the tools, right? It's a hard fight to get in the right rooms and the right conversations, but that's what you need, something to inspire you and hold you accountable. That's exactly why you can't do it alone. You need new ideas. You need inspiration. You need collaboration. Sometimes the answer isn't a new product or tool, but instead a relationship that can connect the dots. It's easy to get tunnel vision. To stay in our box, right? Or the office box and lose all of our creativity and our perspective. But that's the trap. Innovation isn't a linear process. And those tough decisions, they only become easier when you stretch. Look, Einstein played the violin every day. Da Vinci would sketch about art and science all the time. Winston Churchill painted landscapes, and King Solomon used to write and journal and pray every day to give him wisdom and discernment. History's greatest thinkers understood something that we've forgotten. Sometimes the fastest way to solve a problem is to stop staring at it, right? The greatest value a coach or a mastermind or a hobby or a peer group can do isn't providing another strategy. It's creating the space for better thinking, because better thinking leads to better decisions, and better decisions, they change everything.